Hi there. I want to share something that I learned that I don't know if I would have heard it when I was in court reporting school. If you do, great. If you don't, plant it in the back of your mind and let it simmer for a while. Here we go. When I was in court reporting school, and long before that, I always had this feeling that I had to be perfect. Which I wasn't, but I had to. Conflicting thoughts, two of them going in opposite directions. I had to strive to be perfect because I was so afraid of criticism. And I came by that honestly because early in my life, it felt like everything I tried to do, I didn't do well enough, fast enough, efficiently enough, perfect enough, ever. So anything I ever did was going to get criticized. Now, for some people, that will push them into procrastination because if you can't get it right, why the hell even bother? So we find ourselves wanting to accomplish something, but not ever being really able to get into motion to get it done because there's a part of you that knows if you finish it, you're probably going to mess it up. And then you're going to feel the criticism, you're going to feel the guilt, the remorse, the frustration. So why even bother? But that wasn't my life. My life was the pain of getting it wrong was much worse than the pain of never starting, because actually that wasn't allowed in my world. It was, you better start it and you better get it right. So it would take me a very long time it took me, I mean, we're talking 4 years of all kinds of different hypnosis classes, neuroscience stuff, to really understand what is your brain doing when you're that young and this stuff gets downloaded into you. First of all, it's not you, it's your programming. And I didn't even know that was a thing, that those first 7 years of your life are setting you up with a underlying program that's running in your subconscious, several of them actually, many of them actually. But those programs are going to be your default programs for the rest of your life until they're interrupted, until you see them and decide you want to stop them, um, until a point at which it's so painful to continue with that program that some part of your being says something's got to change. And then you make a conscious effort to change. But those programs are the reason we can't accomplish what we want to accomplish. They're also the reason we can't, stay on a diet and lose weight, because you're deciding you want something up here, but there's a program running underneath that conflicts with your 10% of your conscious thinking. You've got 10% up here that you're deliberately using during the day. And anytime you're not deliberately up here, you drop into your subconscious programming. Which program is it going to pick? It's going to pick the one that's easiest, that takes less effort, the thing that it's most used to. And that's why if you've spent your whole life being kind of depressed, kind of sad, kind of mopey, kind of not being able to get started and do things, that's your most comfortable place for that part of you to drop into. It's what's most familiar. So, and that's what makes change kind of difficult, because to get a change to happen in your life, you have to be ready to let go of the thing that used to be the most comfortable. And that means stepping into something that's less comfortable, that's not familiar, that's not habitual, easy place to go to. It takes effort until it becomes the new habit. And then it becomes who you are. And then it's not that kind of effort anymore. Here is what I wish I had known when I was in court reporting school. And that was that I was running on programs that I wasn't aware of, that I didn't believe in what was possible for me, that I saw other people, I saw other people doing things that seemed easy for them, and it wasn't for me, not knowing that their backstory was different than mine. And things that would be easier in my life were going to be hard for them, but I would never know that. We compare things that we really don't have all the information to compare from. So don't. It's just going to set you up to feel bad about you. And the number one thing you want to do every single day when you wake up is feel good about you. Because your subconscious programming, there's something in there also that says, tell me who you are. Tell me who you believe you are. And I'm going to make it easy for you to get more of that. But a lot of us, I did, sat there in school and said, I'm not very good at this. Everybody else is better. This is going to take me forever to get out, if I ever get out, and I don't know what that would look like. And I feel just really pretty crappy about everything. Now, try to motivate yourself to go to school and do a thing that's hard anyway with that kind of an attitude. But you'll ask yourself, well, how do I get into a different attitude? How do I get to where I show up being happy that I'm not where I want to be? And how do I find that motivation to dig into what I need, what I know I need to do on a daily basis when I don't really feel good about it? Those are the magic questions. It's a whole lot of things. It's seeing the goal at the end. It's seeing where you want to go very clearly. In the middle of your journey in court reporting school, you're going to lose sight of that end goal, most of you. You're going to hold on to it real tight in theory. And then you're going to grab it again at the end because you can see the finish line. But somewhere in the middle, it's like, what? Why did I start this? Why did I think I could do this? Maybe I can't do this. Why is it easier for somebody else? And you just, I swear, that's why 120 to 180 is just such a difficult place to be. So, because it takes faith beyond faith that you are just in the middle of a tunnel that's dark. And what are you going to do? Because there's no way to get out of the tunnel. You can turn around and go back and quit, or you can keep going forward, remembering that there must have been a good reason why you got in this tunnel. There was that moment of, I can do this. I want to do this. I'm destined to do this until I decide I'm not. But court reporters have a calling, most of us, that says, because we're determined, we're tenaciously determined to finish this thing that we started, knowing that somehow we can do it. So what I wish I'd known in school was that the only thing holding me back was me. It was those moments when I let the thoughts come through. It was me not being in control of my thoughts. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that was a thing. I was pretty sure the thoughts came from someplace higher and bigger and stronger than me, and that when they came through, I had no choice, no will, but they impacted me. They made me feel bad. They made me stop my efforts. They made me slow down the progress that I would have seen and would have felt had I just kept doing the thing I have to do. And, there are, we think of ourselves as being in a really different kind of, well, we are, different kind of profession, but there are elements of what we have to do to get out that are the same as people who are training for the Olympics. I mean, this is the Olympics, you guys. Come on, it is. It's not just, oh, I want to run fast. It's no, I want to break through the tape before anybody else, and I want the friggin' gold medal. It doesn't mean you have to be a speed champion. It means you want to finish and be great at your craft. Be good at what you do. Make the money you see other people making. But even the person who's training for the Olympics shows up and does training every day, and most of the time doesn't see the 0.1 nanosecond faster today than they were yesterday. They don't see it. They don't feel it. Some days they show up and they give it their all and they fall well short of what they know they're capable of and well short of what will carry them to a gold medal. Do they quit? Do they get frustrated? Do they bitch to their, maybe they bitch to their family, I don't know. But, and some of them quit. Some of them do quit. You get to quit. You really do. You could do that. There's no judgment, no, you get to do what you need to do in this life. This is your life. But may I suggest that before you quit, you truly ask yourself, am I giving it everything I have, every chance I can, every day in a way that I, without being able to see progress, that I have faith in the thing I can't see, that I believe that what I'm doing is making me bigger and better and faster. And yeah, the only thing we have to give us really a benchmark is the tests we take, which I think frankly suck, because I think we're building speed past the test goal that we're looking at. And there comes a moment when that would have been the sweet spot, but a lot of us don't transcribe the tests because, well, it didn't feel like it passed. You don't know. And if you transcribe it, you will learn things about how you're writing, and you will learn things about how to pass the next test, perhaps easier, better. You will learn something in transcribing every piece of crap you ever write. It will make you a better reporter. Put those things in your dictionary. It will make you a better writer. It will make your translation rate go up. You can have sloppy notes. I mean, I've got the sloppiest notes in the world. I've also got the best translation rate of anybody I know. And I've heard that not just from the scopists who would rather do my work than anybody's, but I've heard that from other reporters. And it's not that I'm a precision writer. I'm not. I'm a sloppy writer. I'm consistently sloppy. And so I put that stuff in my dictionary. A very brilliant reporter told me 40 years ago, honey, the crap you write today is going to be the same crap you write tomorrow when it's too fast to write it beautifully. So put that stuff in your dictionary. And unless it conflicts with something else, unless it translates completely wrong for the next job you're doing, well, then get rid of it. But otherwise, yeah, I was sharing my dictionary with somebody last night, and the first page came up, and she was like, "Is this your dictionary?" Yeah, because the whole first page is nothing but untranslates. It was sloppy strokes that I had hooked up with words and strokes before and after that I know I'm going to write that crap that same way someday, somehow. And she sat there and she said, your stuff's amazing because you don't have any conflicts. Well, that was something that came from starting computer in a world where you had to write everything differently to have it come up properly. You couldn't. Conflicts was just going to make more editing time later. So I don't know. It surprises me that I have no conflicts in my writing, but I'm a sloppy writer, and there it all is in my dictionary. And someday we'll have to do a video just on that. But don't be afraid of that. And I do hear there are well-meaning people, well-meaning coaches who say, accuracy first, speed second. For me, try it out both ways. But for me, had I insisted on accuracy over speed, I probably would have quit. I probably would have or been in school a whole lot longer than I did. Wow. Ooh, that was a hard one. For me, it was accepting that it's not that I can't be precise. I was just sitting here thinking, you were first violin with the Oakland Symphony. Yeah, you got the ability to be precise. I hated it. I hated it. I hated practicing. I hated hearing the things that weren't exactly the way I wanted them. When I write steno, I can have a key that's not quite pressed, or a dragging in something I don't quite want, or writing it fast and stacking it, or splitting the whole stroke, because when I'm writing fast, that's what happens. Know yourself. Accept who you are. Accept what kind of writer you are. Ask yourself, can I write more precisely at a higher speed? Try it. Try all the things that people say when they tell you accuracy first, speed second. Try it. Try every bit of it. And if that doesn't work, get a hold of me. I'll tell you what I do. And I love it when I'm doing a job and it's fast and I'm looking at how many untranslates I've got, and I'm looking at my 0-0 conflict list, and I'm seeing that I'm writing consistently at 260 words a minute, and my translation rate is, it's coming up at less than 1%. In fact, it usually, I like to have it hover at 0.5 or less errors, which doesn't really tell you exactly, because it's assuming that if you wrote that wrong, that it came out right. So, but it gives you a benchmark. It gives you an idea of your translation rate. But I want you to, wherever you are right now, to stop beating up on yourself, to stop feeling like there's something wrong with you, to stop feeling like the rest of the world somehow got, a whole lot more going on than you do, because that's just your perception of you right now. And that is the thing that will hold you back, not the peripheral stuff on the outside that you see, because the peripheral stuff on the outside that you see is a result of what you're thinking. It's a result of how much effort you're giving everything in every moment with total belief in where you're going. And you be honest with yourself. Those moments when you drop down into, I can't do this. And I'm not trying to make fun of you, because I was there. Good Lord, I quit school probably 4 times in those years when I finally got out, because I didn't feel like I was making progress, and I didn't understand what I could do. And none of it had anything to do with how I was practicing, with how much I was practicing. It had to do with me quitting before I could see the results of my efforts. And then every time I would come back, I would hit it hard, which is what I needed to be doing all along. And when I hit it hard long enough, the results would come. They did every single time, all the way up to the end. And then even within that first year out in the field, when I got my merit, and I got my what? Because I took that test just to see how far out of the game I was. Because I just had the misfortune of reporting Board of Medical Quality Assurance hearings for nearly a year. And they were hard and they were fast. And we're talking a room full of 20, 25 doctors who don't want to repeat anything, who think they're above even being there. It was demoralizing. But within that first year being out, I started passing parts of the merit. Surprised hell out of me. Got my merit, got my diplomate registration, went on to being certified in 5 different states. Yeah, nobody's more amazed than I am. If you'd looked at me in court reporting school, I would have been the one least possibly going to graduate. I was the one that anybody who knew me and knew how I wrote and knew how I put myself down constantly and quit and gave up and had short days because why bother? I was the one who was not going to make it. Is that who you think you are today? come join me on the other side of the fence. Pays a lot better over here than it does in school. I love you guys. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.